Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to continue reading from Miss Suki is Kooky. Finally, all that was left on the countdown to picture day and author day chart was a big number 1. It was the day before Miss Suki arrived. Everybody was excited except for me. You would have thought that the president or the Pope or Tony Hawk was coming to our school. In the vomitorium that day, the lunch lady, Mrs. LaGrange, prepared a traditional Japanese dish called chicken teriyaki in honor of Miss Suki. It's chicken with teriyaki sauce poured over it, so it has that perfect name. I sat with Ryan and Michael and Neil, the new kid. Ryan was opening peanut shells by cracking them on his head. Michael blew air into his lunch bag and popped it to freak out the girls. And Neil made the nude kid put crackers in his eye sockets. Andrea and Emily and their annoying girly friends were at the next table talking about girly things again. Should I put my hair into a ponytail for picture day? Asked Andrea. Or should I wear a bow? A ponytail, of course, replied Emily. Ugh, I thought I was going to throw up. I bet Miss Suki is going to come in a limousine, said Michael. Maybe she'll come in a helicopter, said Ryan. She lives in the rainforest, I said. Maybe she'll swing in on a vine like Tarzan. That would be cool. What do you think the big surprise is she talked about in her letter? Asked Neil, the nude kid. Beats me, we all said. Lunch was almost over, so we had to scrape the food off our trays into the big trash can. I hope Miss Suki will sign my autograph book tomorrow, Emily told the girls. I took it to Disney World and got it signed by Mickey and Goofy. Those are just teenagers dressed like Mickey and Minnie Goofy. And Mickey and Goofy, dumbhead, I told her. They are not, Emily whined. They're the real Mickey and Goofy. Emily would have cried, but she had to go back to class, so I guess she didn't have time. When we got to Miss Daisy's room, guess who walked into the room? Nobody. If you walked into a door, it would hurt, but guess who walked into the doorway? It was Mr. Klutz and Mrs. Rupee. Are you excited about picture day tomorrow? Asked Mr. Klutz. Are you excited about author day tomorrow? Asked Mrs. Rupee. Yes, yelled all the girls. No, yelled all the boys. I can't wait to meet Miss Suki, Mr. Klutz said, because I love animals too. In my younger days, I used to work over the summer in a zoo. Wow, we all said, even though Mr. Klutz didn't say anything that interesting. When grown-ups tell you boring stuff about their younger days, you should always pretend to be interested. That's the first rule of being a kid. Remember, Mr. Klutz continued, Miss Suki is our guest. I'm sure you'll be on your best behavior and treat her with respect. We want to show Miss Suki what kind of wonderful students we have at elementary school. By the way, I invited Mr. Copperls, the president of the School Board of Education, too. Isn't that exciting? Yes, we all said, even though it totally wasn't. And after Mr. Klutz was finishing talking, Miss Rupee said she had a few words to say. Miss Suki will probably give you the chance to ask questions, Miss Rupee told us. Remember, a question is not a story about yourself. A question is not a story. A question is when you ask somebody something. And whatever you do, don't ask Miss Suki personal questions like how old she is or how much money she makes. We all promise to be good listeners and not ask any stupid questions. Well, after 3 weeks of getting ready, it was almost time for the big day. To tell you the truth, I was getting sick of Miss Suki, and she hadn't even shown up yet. Chapter 5. Miss Suki finally arrives. When we got to school the next morning, there was a big sign on the front lawn. Elementary school welcomes Miss Suki Kabuki for Author's Day and Picture Day. All the girls are dressed up for picture day, and all the boys look dressed like slobs, as usual. After we put our book bags in our cubbies, Andrea and Emily took out their little mirrors and tried to make themselves look pretty. That would make a great movie. Mission Impossible. Miss Daisy told us that our pictures would be taken at the end of the day after the author visit. Because there was so much going on at school, we would have to miss math. Yeah, baby, I hate math. Everybody was whispering, "Where's Masuki? Is Masuki here yet?" We pressed our faces against the window so we could be the first to see Masuki when she arrived. And then I saw her. I was looking through the window between our classroom and the hallway when a lady walked by on the red construction paper carpet that we had taped to the floor. I recognized her face from the author photo in her book. Masuki was pulling a rolly cart with a big box on it. She was a skinny little lady, not much bigger than a kid. It looked like a gust of wind could knock her over. "It's her!" I shouted. "Masuki's here!" Everybody made a mad dash into the hallway, and that's when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. The wheels of Masuki's rolly cart got caught on the red carpet or something, and it made her trip. She fell flat on her face. We all ran over to help her. "Why is the paper all over the floor?" Masuki asked. "It's not paper," Ryan told her. "It's a red carpet, so you can make a grand entrance." "Can you please get rid of it?" she said. "I've had a hard day already. My plane was delayed. The taxi driver got lost on the way over here." "Ooh, she has her own plane," somebody said. "Ooh, she has her own taxi," somebody said. "Are you really the famous children's book author, Misuki Kabuki?" I asked. "Yes, I am," she replied, and she shook my hand. "Ooh, I touched somebody's famous." And I said, "Then I'm never going to wash this hand again." "Big deal, Arlo," said Andrea. "You're probably never washed your hands anyway." "All snap," said Ryan. "So is your face," said old Andrea. "What's in the box, Miss Suki?" asked Emily. "Oh, you'll find out later," she said. "It's my mystery box, but first, can you tell me where the office is?" "I need to introduce myself to your principal, Mr. Putz." "You mean Klutz," everybody shouted, and we told Miss Suki how to get to the office. We were so excited we were the first class in school to meet Miss Suki. The bad part was we had to wait 1,100,000 hours for her assembly to start. First, she had to visit kindergarten trolls. After that, she had to talk to the 5th and 6th graders. Then she had to have lunch with the teachers. Then she had to sign all the books that the kids ordered. And finally, it was time for our assembly. Andrea and Emily wanted to bring their dumb mirrors along, but Miss Daisy said they couldn't. Nanny, nanny, boo-boo on them. We walked 1,100,000 miles to the all-purpose room. But then I was a little excited by then, so it didn't seem that far. When we finally arrived, we saw the easel on the stage and Masuki's mystery box. Boys and girls, join me next time to finish this chapter.